Okay, I wanted to shoot this video before all my spears are gone. I have been using Hawaiian slings for quite a long time now, and I've tried a lot of different things and listened to a lot of different advice. And I can tell you my summary. If you go to stores, they normally sell two different diameter shafts, either 1/4 inch, which is 6 millimeter, and a 6 1/4 millimeter, or these are harder to get the 1/4 inch, and often on, they're maybe 7 millimeter or something, or 6.5. And then they have wider ones. I forget what they are, but they're maybe a 1/16 wider, but they're heavier. And what they'll tell you is, invariably is, oh yeah, the thin ones are used for lobster and the heavier ones are used for fish. But I've used those heavier ones, and I'm a pretty strong guy. I can bench 220, I'm strong. But those shafts, there's no way with those heavier shafts that you can launch them with enough velocity to do anything. I mean, I've literally hit hogfish right in the head with those things, and the spear bounces off. It'll knock the fish out, but it won't penetrate it. The other problem is all those shafts, even the thin ones. So to summarize, the thin shafts are the only ones, in my opinion, you get the sufficient velocity, that are light enough and thin enough. And let's face it, your priority should be getting your spear in the fish, because if you don't get your spear in the fish, you got no fish. So yeah, a thicker one might do more damage if you get it to penetrate, but if it doesn't penetrate, it doesn't do you any good. The other thing is that the tips are all pencil tips, which is fine. Most spears are, or they can be, beveled edge, which I'll show you in a minute. But the biggest problem is that you don't have much power with one band on a Hawaiian Sling. You maybe have 50 pounds at the most, and it's not much. And the floppers that come on the spears that you buy are not recessed. So in other words, they're put on with rivets and they stick out. So when it hits the fish, unless it has a whole lot of velocity, it's just gonna stop right when it hits that. It's very hard to get the barb embedded, especially if you're trying headshots where there's a lot of gill plate and things. So the other problem is, and this is not a problem for a lot of people, if you buy your spear shafts at your destination, it's not a problem. But if you want to travel with them, they're 5 feet long and they're very hard to travel with. So I had a machinist come up with, and also my design, to design what I call a travel shaft spear that threads together. That part is, a take it or leave it kind of thing. It's just an option. But this is what I designed and he built. And it has a recessed, you can see the threads go into a recessed sleeve like that, collar. And when you thread it together, you don't even have to tighten it. It's just in there. And they're straight enough. I mean, they're pretty perfect, actually. And the only thing I will point out is it does make a little weak point in the middle. So, they can bend. If you get a fish in there, they can even break. But for travel, they work very well. The other thing I did was I had him, and this is the most important thing, I had him recess the barb, as you can see. So essentially, it's flush. It's a 1/4 inch shaft, I forgot to mention if I didn't. And it's recessed enough so that the rivet is sort of sitting at that 1/4 inch mark. So as long as you get the shaft up to here, the barb is recessed, okay? And I had, in addition to this regular pencil tips, I had, he came up with this idea and it was brilliant. It's like a tricut, if you can see it. It's got beveled edge, 3 cuts, and these are like razor sharp. I mean, they're sharp. Same thing, recessed barb. But These I've used extensively. I haven't tested out the pencil tips. I'll do that on this trip. But I've been using these these beveled edge ones extensively, and man, they just tear right through. I mean, I can take out a 15-pound grouper right through the gill plate with these. If you're close, you have to be close. So yeah, I wanted to just capture a video on these shafts because it's very important. I've probably started using them. Started a year ago. So if you see my videos from a year ago onward, I'm using these newer shafts. And the other final points I can put out, I already had a video that's in the links for how to build the bands and the specs, but just to revisit that, there's 7/16 prime line rubber is what I like to use, and I use 9 inches. So it measures from here, from the end of the butt to here is 9 inches. Okay, that's for me, the pull. And that gives you 4 or 5 times ratio. And as I mentioned before, I put an insert into the Hawaiian Sling so that the bore is a little narrower. So for a 1/4 inch shaft, for example, when I put that in, there's only about a 16-inch play. But to be honest with you, that part probably doesn't matter a whole lot. You know, what I find with the spearfishing with these Hawaiian Slings is you need to be right up close to them. I mean, in reality, I'm not shooting any fish that isn't any more than a spear shaft away. So basically, you're right on top of them, literally. And you should be, because you want a nice headshot and you want it to be, you know, you don't want them swimming away with your shaft. And you're not gonna penetrate it anyway. If you know, by the time this 5-foot shaft leaves the end, if you haven't hit your fish, you know, it's gonna be hard to penetrate it. It's just the reality of it is, you know. And you know, I'll defy anybody else who's telling me otherwise, especially with respect to the fish shafts that are heavier. They just do not work. These 5-foot, I think, are excellent with a 1/4 inch, and they're light enough and they really fly. And in a perfect world, I would probably drop it down, even go to a lower diameter and make them longer so they have the same weight, but they go even faster. And then I think you could shoot them a little further away. But anyway, I just wanted to cover that because I have a lot of spearfishing videos, and you'll see me, you know, shoot a lot of fish. I miss a lot too. But I just wanted to summarize the type of shaft I'm using. I think there may be commercial interest. If there is, then you know, maybe I'd be interested in making a larger batch and having the machine shop who makes them offer them. And that's about it. Thanks.